Hi there. Thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Taste with Sherry, where we're saving the earth one flavor at a time by gathering community to share wisdom around the natural connections between our innate sense of taste and flavors that are grown in healthy, regenerative soils. Welcome. Hi there, Sherry Hess with the Flavor Remedy. Thanks for listening to another episode of Let's Talk Taste with Sherry. Today, I want to talk about some of my favorite people on the earth, and those are chefs. I love chefs. Chefs are so passionate about what they do. Chefs are like the artists of the flavor palette, right? Painters have a palette of paint, chefs have this palette of flavor, right? So there's this artist quality that they have in this ability to bring flavors together, to make them delicious, to elevate this experience of us eating, right? Chefs know flavor. Chefs want to bring, this sensory experience to you when you come into the restaurant. I could go on and on about just the personality of chefs and the dedication that they have and the fact that they're feeding us, right? Like, I could also go down the road of the chefs just aren't getting the recognition they deserve, but we'll do that another day. So today I want to talk about what chefs are already doing in the realm of living flavor. This idea that that flavor is backed by nutrients that comes from nutrient dense rich soils, right? And they may or may not be thinking about it from this point of view, but the reality is they're actually creating this power. There's this alchemy in what they're doing to bring this experience to you as the consumer that um, is already elevating this concept. So, what does that mean? What does that look like? So, let's be very specific here. I am talking about chefs that purchase ingredients, purchase individual ingredients that they combine, that they create. They use their brilliance to put these flavors together. I'm not talking about um, people that go and order, because there's a lot of it, just like there's prepackaged food in the grocery store, there's a lot of prepackaged pre-flavored things in the restaurant industry. I'm talking about the chefs that want the individual ingredients, they want the whole foods, they want their own spices, they want the things that they know they can put together from a flavor point of view, right? So ways that they're already making a difference is chefs that can see the difference between the tomato we talked about in the last episode, the one that is hard on the shelf and the one that's from the beautiful farm around the corner, or the farmer's market, right? Just making that choice to go to the farmer's market to get things, as opposed to having, one of the big food distributors bring a case of hard tomatoes to their store, when they're making that simple decision, right? That right there, in their mind, they're choosing flavor. What they might not necessarily recognize is that they're also choosing nutrients, right? So they're pulling this sweet, sour, bitter, juicy, beautiful textured tomato and putting it on, their dish. This is the exact experience I had with my chef in Cozumel, these beautiful tomatoes, right? They're choosing based on flavor. Maybe they're choosing because it's making a difference and they know they're supporting local farms and they know how the farmers are growing those things. Maybe not. Flavor is typically the driver here, right? Their customers won't come back if it's not flavorful. So flavor is the drive. So by them just purchasing these things, they're making a difference because they're supporting the farmers that are doing the right thing. If it's flavorful, pretty sure there's nutrients behind it, right? But the other thing that chefs are brilliant at, and why I'm like excited to invite chefs into this community, is that they know how to balance these flavors that humans are drawn to. They know how to take flavors that make a dish more complex. So let's just use something like arugula, right? So arugula is what would be considered a bitter green. It's got a unique flavor, it's got a bite to it. And chances are, if someone just said to you, the consumer, go buy some arugula and eat it because it's good for you, you would go buy arugula and you'd put it on your plate and you would try to eat it and you would be like, what is this? Because you're not used to that bitter flavor, right? And it's not a balanced flavor when you eat it on its own. What a chef knows how to do is take that bitter flavor, use the complexity of it, And bitter is detoxifying and bitter is medicine. So bringing bitter in is also healthier for you. The chef knows how to add fruit and nuts and a little bit of fat and a little bit of acidity and balancing all the flavors that our palates love and bringing us this artistic rendition of flavor that we can now go, well, yeah, of course I like arugula. Arugula is the bomb, right? Because the chef knows how to balance flavors. So the brilliance of a chef that they're doing by nature, making a dish taste good, it comes natural to them. It's an easy talent for them. They really are doing it for the experience of their guest. The missing like aha here is they are feeding you highly nutritious food. They are feeding you nutrients coming from flavors of the ingredients themselves. We're talking about spices. We're talking about, beautiful, really bitter olive oils. These things that a chef can detect in an ingredient. They're looking at the flavor by focusing on that flavor and like re-engaging this conversation around flavor equals nutrients. When they're using quality ingredients on their food and bringing that experience to you in a balanced way so that you're not just getting a whole big bite full of bitter, they're bringing you more nutrition. It's like a multivitamin on a plate, right? But we can't talk about that because a carrot is a carrot is a carrot and tomato is a tomato is a tomato. And no one's talking about the fact that flavor equals nutrition. But that's why we're here. And that's why I love chefs. And we're going to keep this conversation going until we prove that flavor is indeed the remedy.